Yo, welcome back to Or Plus. It's Wednesday. Yesterday we could not trade, and so I did not record because of this right here. Triple threat CPI. Stayed away from it. Couldn't trade. Didn't trade. Didn't record. So, welcome to today. It's Wednesday. 1:15 a.m. The only news today we have to speak of. President Trump speaks. So, that's currently what's up. Um, that's still confusing. Let's head over here real quick. So we're on the S&P now. Let's just do a quick rundown and see what's happening. So we are on a daily at the moment. We temporarily broke structure, then came back up, revisited. Cool. And disrespected this order block. Made a high outside of this. We actually saw it continue up higher from this break of structure, making this an order block. So we see price continuing higher now. We have plenty of lows to hit. This is an all-time high. Not seeing any other high out here. As you can see, no other high, which is cool. We know we're in an uptrend right now based on this right here. Past couple of days been in an uptrend, which is completely fine. Yeah, it retraced down, but it didn't quite hit this order block here. We've been continuing up. 4 hour. What's 4 hour say? 4 hour says we're also in an uptrend and matches the day. Cool. We broke structure here. We caught that. Move up. Closure within, move down a little bit, and then it continued higher. Breaking structure here, and then order block there. Saw it continue to move. Cool. It came down just barely enough to hit this order block. Making this entire move a breaker block. And we saw it continue to move up. Cool. Cool. Had a fair value gap saying it would continue higher. We're seeing that continuation now. We had a mini retrace back down, but it wasn't enough to fill this fair value gap. So we're looking at this fair value gap to fill on the 4 hour. Funnily enough, it also falls within this low here. It, like, just barely, like, yeah, it's so close that I'd say I have no doubt, except it's all-time high right now. We don't know how much further price will continue to go up higher. We just don't. We're at the mercy of our confluences at the moment. Being extremely careful with how we approach this. Here's our hour. Here's our fair value gap on the 4. We had a mini break of structure here, making this an order block. We moved back up within, closed, moved back down. Here's our breaker block, this entire move here. And at this point in time, we broke structure again, up above this, as well as this order block at the same time. So it invalidated this whole move. We got fair value gap from it. And so we continued up higher. We have low here. Why is this line here? Because this would have been the low on the hour, right? Which would have given us a very small space to go in, right? And I want to see a confluence hit on the hour before I consider going to the 5 or a high or a low manipulated, right? And we're already at an all-time high, so it's honestly, in my opinion, best If we stick on the hour or the 30-minute and watch carefully for other confluences to get hit, so the end result is we have a trade we can take based on many more confluences instead of just influence. All right. Here on the 5-minute, here's where price is now. We were in a downtrend here. We broke structure here, making this an order block. Price could come down if it wants to. We made a high here. If price wants to continue higher, is probably what's going to happen is it's going to manipulate this high. It'll come up above it, right? And then it'll close, and then we'll see a confluence made within this. We have a bunch of fair value gaps throughout this right here. I have no doubt this right here is probably a fair value gap on the 30-minute. Let me see. Yep, that right there is a fair value gap on the 30-minute. So this right here is a confluence that could get hit. Let's actually go back up to the 30-minute real quick. I'll mark that. Here down to here. Cool. Cool. We haven't broke structure at all in this. We're looking for a full-on reversal. Hi. What you doing? Hi. Thank you. Mwah. Here you go. Yay. Up. Uppy. Boop. Say boop. Boop. You okay? Hmm? Mickey. Mickey? You see Mickey Mouse? Say, how are you? How are you, Mickey Mouse? But yeah, I think what'll happen first is it'll manipulate the high, and then from there we'll see it come on back down. It might break structure. If it continues higher, okay. I'd like to see it break structure. I'd like to see a reversal and it come back down. Because right now, again, we're at an all-time high. So we really want to see it come back down. See the 30-minute. Boom. I think what'll happen is if we see a manipulation of this high and it does decide to come back down, it'll actually invert this for value up before anything else. So we're going to sit on the 5 because we have this marked now. We want to see it come down, close below this, invert this for value up completely, and then from there, the rest of our confluences form within this time range. When we see that final confluence form within here, we'll take a trade off of it. I'm wanting to take a short. I want to. I'm not banking on it to be a really good short. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to de-risk a little. I'm going to take all the way down, take 0.2. Yeah. I'm going to take 0.25 off because there is a very good potential that it could come down and just hit this and then bounce right back up. What are my other confluences here? Honestly. Boop. Boop. We have fair value gap below that bottom low. We have that low here. We have this low here. We have a 4-hour fair value gap here. We have the break of structure and the breaker block here, which that 4-hour kind of lines up with that breaker block. Yeah. Down. There you go, buddy. Bye-bye. We're on the 30-minute right now. This right here revisited this for value gap, filling it, but not inverting it. It might retest this low here. These are pretty spread out too, which kind of discourages me from taking a trade because we're at an all-time high, right? Looking at it. This is kind of not good. The more spread out these confluences are, the less likely they are to be revisited, making the uptrend that it's currently in more appeasing to try and trade off of. But there's a problem. Because this is an all-time high, there's almost nothing over here for us to target. What about the minute? Does the minute have anything? The minute says we just manipulated this high. What about the 5? 5 says the same thing. Okay, so we're making some progress. Let's see what's happening. To break structure, we'd have to close below this on the 5, which is kind of what we want to see. A manipulation of this high, a wick above, closure, and then for it to come down and then close below this. That'll be a cool reversal. On the 5-minute, we also have a fair value gap here saying that, hey, if price does want to come down and close, it'll have an inverse of this fair value gap. That's a reversal sign. And then the rest of the confluence can be found through that. I don't know. We'll wait till 10:30. How about that? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait till 10:30 for all of the confluences that I need to form in an orderly fashion. Either they form in the direction I want them to form in, or I'm not taking a trade today. If price continues higher, cool. Yeah. Something to boot, something to note as an indicator. Again, not a confluence, just an indicator. This is on the 5-minute. And per the other strategy I've been talking about for a little while now. The blue line's above this orange line, which means it's been above this green line for a minute. Price has been. We just recently crossed above it here. Sure, we could have probably taken a trade here, but I didn't wake up right here. I woke up over here. Okay? That's one thing. 2, because we've been above this for a minute now, and we've seen how low this will hit, right? I'm curious to know and see if we can get a cross above here and then the drop. This gives me confidence, a little bit of confidence that we will be crossing this and this orange line, and we'll actually be seeing it reverse back down. We'll see our confluences form within this, unlike over here or anything we've seen over here. Just a thought. I'm going to pause the video until I see all the confluences met and formed. I'll take a trade once I see all my confluences up on the board. Okay? Okay. BRB. Sorry, that was fast. Let me go ahead and do. Good grief, the ads and the volume alone. Man, leave me alone. This movement right here was pretty dang fast. Hello, market open. Wonder why the volume My alarm's going to go off. It's just going to surprise me. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that, but it is. We're going to wait until this candle closes. We'll have on the 5-minute, potentially an inverse for yeah. If we're lucky, break of structure. We've already seen price dip below this green line, which is perfect, which it actually lines up quite well with the way this arch is on the MACD. We want to see it, again, either invert this fair value gap right here or break below this and actually close below it. See what happens. So there's an SMT. MACD says we're going higher. We have fair value gap. Price coming down in there. Technically. I don't want to. My thought process is, and this is the incorrect thought process because it's not Forex that I'm trading on, it's mini futures. This is a futures. Okay? I don't want to. SMTs can only be accurately done on Forex between NASDAQ and S&P. Wait, no, it's not on Forex. Hot dog. Where are my notes? Yeah, S&T not on Forex. So I can't use it on Forex. So would it work here if that's the case? And if so, that means it'll go higher. This is our fair value gap. Boom. We have no target up here. We just know that it's going higher. Sure, it's going higher now. Where would we target? I think. Go here. I think double. I want to try something. I'm going to try something. This is me attempting to do something that I'm uncomfortable with and risking a small amount. I cannot believe that just happened. I brought that down and y'all saw it and it came back up. I hope this idea is right. So my thought process is if, and this is the safest my thought process can go for, if in the event we see fair value gap and the SMT form, right? And we know price has been in an uptrend for a minute now. We thought it would give us a downtrend reversal, but instead of it manipulating a high, it just continued higher. The thought process is check the NASDAQ. If it's given us an SMT divergence, right, it will ultimately predict where price is going to go on the S&P, right? And from there, because it's made it higher low, it did a lower low here, right? We're wanting to see price continue higher based on that SMT's reversal. It'll continue up higher. We saw it. We saw the fair value gap that it gave us here. We saw it revisit that fair value gap. Technically, we could have entered down here. We could have put our stop loss down here. Okay, no biggie. Because we saw that and took a trade based on that, right? But we are at an all-time high. I think the safest bet is to go for a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. A 2 to 1, sorry. So I am risking the trade for double what I would have made. Okay? You can see here, risk to reward. 1 to 2. So with any luck, this actually pans out the way I want it to. If so, I think what I'm going to do is just that. I'm going to, the next time we're at an all-time high and I want to take a trade for the day, I want to, one, decrease my lot size so I'm not risking as much. And then two, only ever trade at a 1 to 2, so I'm only ever losing the 1 and potentially gaining the 2. All right? End result is we come out on top from a trade that otherwise would have potentially been a reversal and just continue down. I wonder. That'd be the only low to target, really. I thought it would cross up here. It didn't. Instead, we're continuing higher. So yeah, I think this is the smartest thing we could do. Is this a dumb idea? No, it's me testing an idea. It's me testing if this is the safest option to do, knowing the risk in potentially losing this trade. If I'm wrong, we go down a little bit. Okay. If I'm right, we go up a little bit. That's okay. I want to know. This is me learning from my own experience. The only reason I'm letting this play out and instead of pausing it, I have not paused this, um, is because I really want to know. And this will be the video I come back to really understand, watch, and see and learn for myself. Hey, this idea is probably the safest one you can go with. And in the event something about all of draw a line this decides it's convincing you this isn't going to happen in a more uptrend because it's been like this, right? Um, don't do it. Just don't. Understand right now, we have yet to see a fair value gap in any of this except for like right there, which is completely fine. Price can come down and revisit. We just don't want to inverting it. And if it inverts it, we know we've lost the trade. I was waiting for it to come. I seen it. I'm like, nope. Seen it. I felt it. I felt the sneeze coming on. It just wasn't there. Crap. There might be another one. Comment section. I am gonna do this. So I know you saw it. You saw it the way I seen it. I put my take profit all the way up there. Why'd I do that? Because I'm out to make some monies. This is a bad decision. This is a good decision. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take half the position off of this right here. Half. Okay? Because I initially meant to risk 0.25 or no 0.20 right here. Instead, I risked that, which was not what I wanted to do. So, what I'm going to do to offset one, the fee, and then two, the amount of risk I'm putting all the way up here, I'm going to take half the position off, half of what we're making here completely off. That way, I offset this and I increase this. And I have potential to make another penny, which is okay. I don't like this one. That is in my eardrum. I do not like that one. Sorry. Something tells me that was a very good song, but my ear just doesn't like it right now for some reason. I'm sorry. In the event you guys were curious as to which song it was, I'm talking about Sea of Fear, the Veer Union. I imagine it's good. I just right now too early for me. I can listen to Breaking Benjamin, sorry, and Starset all day. But that, sorry. I know I just hurt somebody's feelings. I'm sorry. 9:55 right now. Just realized that made a fair value gap all on its own. Oh no, it didn't, because that right there actually claimed it, so we're good there. Not broke structure either. Continuing the uptrend. This I know is different. This is the low for this right here. NASDAQ says it wants to continue down just a little bit, but it's also respected this fair value gap so far. I think it's going to continue higher regardless. We got 2 minutes, 30 seconds for that to fill. Probably continue higher. What's telling me it will? Respected fair value gap. As well as this fair value gap, as well as the high time frame fair value gap. That isn't right there, actually. Hello. That's a little scary. That's the low for NASDAQ. Oof. I think broke structure on the NASDAQ. Mm. All right, so that's a break structure on that. I do think it's time for us to leave market. The only reason I did this is because we broke structure on the NASDAQ, and if we look at the S&P real quick, we inverted this for value gap right here, which is the sign of reversal that we were looking for a minute now. Was the trade I took today worth taking? No, it wasn't. Why? Because it was an all-time high that we took a trade from, and there was no other like section over here for us to really target. And I wanted to see for myself whether or not price would continue higher up into what I thought it would hit. It did not. We could have waited. I think we are still going to wait. Although I'm pretty convinced price is actually going to cross up underneath this, and we'll see it continue in a downtrend from this reversal. We have an inverse value gap. When this closes, we'll have a fair value gap, and technically it'd be a more valid idea to try and take a trade on the down for a short. And I've already marked out all these confluences it could hit. It could hit. I'm curious to know, will it continue higher after this retrace, or will it just continue to drop? I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the side, because we know this is done. We don't care about this. We'll go ahead and Minimize that so you can still see the two lines there. I know it's kind of small. We didn't make much off of that trade, by the way. We got like, yeah, 30 something cents. It wasn't much. We've been recording for about 47 minutes now. I don't see the harm in letting this play out a little bit longer. We'll go up until 10:30 with the price action. I'll end recording and then I'll put down in the comment section what happened. We have not been stopped out just yet. Believing NASDAQ is just crashing now. Yeah. Break structure on the 5. Break structure. Ooh, it didn't break structure on the 30 yet. We were never in a downtrend, so this is not a break of structure up and out of. We probably would have actually got what we wanted from the NASDAQ. Didn't do what we wanted on the, what's it called? S&P, but that's okay. This is the 30-minute. If it crosses beneath, that's, in my opinion, a confluence. Not an indication that it'll just continue lower. Good stretch. Not realize what was going on. I did now. Nice and quiet. So I may have made a boo-boo. On NASDAQ, yes, we were crashing below this, but on the S&P, not quite. This candle was still forming. Oops. We're not going to risk again. Not going to. We didn't break structure, though we got an inverse Ferrari gap and the Ferrari gap immediately after. See if it continues higher, though. I do believe this is where we break structure and cross under that green line as well as the orange line on the MACD, which makes my idea to take this trade kind of not smart. So, future me, take notes. Don't do this. I am going to be looking for a video today on where to put my take profit for all-time highs, because clearly the original idea was correct. Though we were already in an uptrend, market said no, we're going down now. Yep, there's a break of structure right there. It's a small one, but it's there. That low closed below this, making we are in a downtrend now on the 5. Same story, I believe, would occur here. We're not there yet on the 30-minute, but we are in a downtrend on the 5. Full on reversal. We manipulated this high here. We see this here on the 5-minute. See that break of structure. From the break of structure, we'd wait for a fair value gap to form. Technically, we could have caught a better trade up here if we had noticed that this was an inverse fair value gap based on this right here. Though we would have needed another confluence. That confluence would have been not order block or breaker block, because clearly this right here is the way it is. But I just realized this is an order block. What am I doing? Because we broke structure here. The move up is our order block. So technically, we could have probably taken a trade off of this candle here and waited for it to just barrel on down. We didn't, thankfully. And I'm not a fan of over trading, so I'm not going to attempt a second time. From this order block, we'd go from here, because it would have needed to close here. This break of structure would have needed to happen to identify this order block. I don't think there's much else we could have done here. Price beforehand did not want to move anywhere. You saw it. We had consolidation here. We had nothing but a straight line up for all of London session. And then when we got to our market open here, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It consolidated London session and consolidated almost all of Asian session, which, ouch, ouch. Right? There wasn't really much of a fake out. It just kept going higher. But still, it wasn't until we opened up on our market, roughly here, right, that we saw price begin to, okay, we're going up. Wait, this is too high. Let's move it down. All right, I think that's pretty much where I want to go with this. I think I'm done recording now. The idea was okay up until it wasn't. We got out before it really cost us anything. We gained a little bit, a small amount. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thanks for watching. And if you're still here at the very end, comment below what was your favorite part, and what do you think I could do to improve this. I think I've found my edge with finding the order blocks and the breaker blocks and the breaks of structure. I know how to identify them more like efficiently now. I also know what they mean when they're tested. I know what it looks like when they're disrespected, each one of them. Fair value gaps are really easy to understand. Inverse fair value gaps are the same. SMT divergences, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still struggling a little bit on. I've only focused on the S&P 500 up until this point, and that's like up until this point from recently. Yeah. Fingers crossed the next trade we take, there's a little bit more to get from it. Because I'd rather not go and do all of this red again. I'd rather not do all of this. I'd rather get all of this, right? There's a lot of green to be missing out on. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing if you're new on the comeback. Give it a like if you did. And if you didn't, consider watching some of my other stuff. I play games, I shoot guns, and I stream. Fridays, 2 p.m. to 10. Check out Orb's Vault on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.